lifetime warranty. WTF? What the frequency? Find out today at midsex.net. When tornadoes wake the South, it was ham radio that was on air, saving lives. As communities lay in ruins, it was the hams who let their families their ones were saved when the power and cell phones went out. The hams were there, helping rescuers get the message through. Every catastrophe strike, amateur radio is ready. Amateur radio works when other communications don't. Contact the ARRL, the National Association for Amateur Radio, on the web at emergencyradio.org. That's emergencyradio.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to acknowledge your lead and turn it into gold. You are listening to Alchemy 101 on the Artist First Radio Network. Past shows are archived. You can listen anytime at artistfirst.com. And now, out to your host, it's Halo Marquise.
Oh, thank you. How's everyone doing tonight, guys? So, first of all, hopefully, this is not your first show. If it is, welcome to Alchemy 101. My name's Halo Marquise, founder, wizard, alchemist. I do a bunch of different things, but tonight's show is going to be a little bit different than what we usually talk about, and I feel like every week it kind of has been an evolving new type of show, so I'm really excited about it. Anyone that's in with the chat room with me right now, welcome. Feel free to chat, comment anytime. I want it to be as interactive as possible. Tonight's gonna be a little bit different, guys, because normally I like to broadcast from my home office in Portland, and I'm in San Francisco for the weekend for this amazing expo, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to make tonight's show about. Is if you're watching the show, either you've met me and want to hear me talk crazy a little bit more, or hopefully you're part of this big revolution that's happening right now with all this consciousness and becoming more aware and more awake and really coming out of the program. And hopefully together we can help each other find some more direction and more real friends and family for what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So tonight I'm going to be talking about, if you've been out, you've heard this before, that your vibe attracts your tribe. So that's really what I want to talk about tonight. But because I'm also out of town, kind of on vacation, I'm literally doing this from my hotel room, I decided to, pay a little homage to one of the great radio people that I watch, Mr. Leon Phelps. So I got a little Cavassier with me tonight, guys. We're just going to kind of kick back, have some fun. So please, if you're in the chat room, please be as interactive as can be. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, so welcome, Alchemy 101, guys. To get started, if anyone isn't really sure about what I'm talking about, I say this or conscious movement, it's a weird thing, and it gets weirder as you go, but it's really, really exciting. And unfortunately, one of the ways a lot of people get it is through a lot of different conspiracy theories that are out there. So a lot of people, unless it's a friend or family member. Hi, Ginger. How you doing? Great to see you too. If they don't have someone like that, it's a really difficult thing to be able to figure out where and how to grow and where to get more information, or if the information is even valid, anything like that at all. So tonight's show, I really want to, hopefully be able to touch on some of these common issues that we run into as the, star seeds, as the light workers, as the people that are out there that genuinely are just trying to make a difference and in a very positive way. So if you're out there and you can hear me right now, thank you if you're doing these amazing works of light and love, and know that there are people out there that are supporting you, and that what you're doing and the impact you're making is far grander than you can ever imagine. So just please guys, keep up the good work. San Francisco, I'm actually in San Mateo, which I've been into San Francisco a handful of times, but I've never actually stayed. It's always been a driving through. So tomorrow, before I go to the expo, sorry guys, I have to tell you because it's just I'm really excited about it. I'm going to the PlayStation headquarters, and you guys know I'm a big gamer, so I didn't even know I was out there. I'm really excited. So I thought that was a very cool little synchronistic thing that just kind of lined up. I'm in the Pullman Hotel, which is this amazing place. I'll be posting pictures later on and let you guys get a look at it. But I'm down here, and I'm actually going to read off the site so you guys, if you are in the San Francisco area, or if you can be, this weekend is going to be one of these like amazing, like life-changing type of events, okay? And if you don't know that they have these events out there, we'll get into a little bit some of the details of what you can go on, different search engines, things to look into to find them in your area. But so this weekend at the San Mateo County Event Center, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Mistech is going to be there with our bands and our frequencies, and I'm not going to be selling them, but I'll even have samples of some of the new frequencies, so some of you guys can try them out. And if you're in the area, I really hope you can come by. But if you're not in the area, next year you need to be. Okay, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. So anyone that's gone through this shift and kind of realized that the American dream, right? I just did a show with Jeff Daugherty a few days ago on how the American dream is really it's a nightmare, and for it. And it's difficult, and I'm not saying that we're in a terrible country or anything like that, but you guys have to understand, and the people that are part of this movement right now are understanding that there's a lot of systems and a lot of things that are designed to kind of keep up in this like loop, in this factory loop of not really getting to a place of freedom. Like we can always see the finish line, but every time that we think we're going to get there, it's further away, right? If you look at, the cost of just college tuition in general, 10 to 20 years ago compared to now, and I'm one of the people that picks on millennials as well, guys, but at the end of the day, the funding and the cost of living and all those things have just skyrocketed out of control into places to where I don't think a single state at all in the country that any person can own more than a one-bedroom apartment, maybe a studio, working minimum wage. And this is part of that system I'm talking about. And once you become awake, you're like, man, I don't want to play this game anymore. And it's really exciting once you get over the cusp of the growth. But during the beginning parts, guys, like doing it on your own is so difficult. And that being the case is why a lot of religions are as successful as they are, because they have these communities, they have these areas, they have these spaces where people can comfortably come and talk about these different type of things. What I want to tell you guys is if you feel alienated or you feel alone, enjoy it. You have no idea. Like once you get over the need of someone else's attention and really, understand and get in tune with who you are and everything. If you've met me in person, guys, I love everybody. I try to be as overly kind and excited all the time. But it really just the way that the real world is, aside from these expos and festivals and stuff like that, I don't like it at all because I've got everything that I need. And there's a lot of crazy people out there that are wanting to become more crazy instead of more aware. And that's kind of the norm now. If you guys look at anything on any types of social media, it really is a huge, huge, huge amount of things that are ridiculous, that are idiotic, that are detrimental to our entire society, that are getting millions and millions of likes. So what I want to challenge everyone out there, if you're hearing this, even if you're not, in America, wherever you are, if you have a friend, a family member that is doing their best, and not what you think should be their best or what you think their effort should be, but you just know their heart's really, really, really in their business, back these people, like support them in every way that you can, because without individuals being able to become financially independent, we're not ever going to get to the place that we're, our land we're trying to get to is just not going to happen, right? So as a very quick example, last year, and this is guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is the thing that I realized how important it was to have this conversation with you guys right now and really stress you guys going. So last year, I went to this place called Beloved, right? It's this huge festival. I believe it's in Tidewater, Oregon, and it's 2,500 people that are awake and aware and so loving, and all the people there, all of them, guys, can you imagine this? All 2,500 people were healers. Imagine being in a place where every person you come across has a genuine interest and or concern for just your general well-being, like every single person. You go to something like this for 3 to 4 days, the level of synchronicity, like odd coincidences that will happen, will blow your mind to smithereens over and over and over and over and over, just within the first hour of being there, right? And it sounds really weird, but if you guys are not doing it, make sure that, and I'll wrap this back in, it'll make sense, but make sure that you do things like, having your crystals around. Like, it's a weird thing, but there's scientific proof for it. I posted something page. Please go and take a look. There was a gentleman that actually figured out a way to generate energy, like with a crystal, and all the research and everything got confiscated, taken. The guy's name was Mark Cummings, and it's on my site. Take a look at it. But having your crystals on you, like, there's such a huge effect and benefit from that until you actually do it, you're not going to know, right? And that being said, right, I want to come back to the crystal part and saging and all this, where I was going. But if you have not had one of these experiences, if you've not had something that seems unrealistic, it seems supernatural, it seems on the phenomenon type version, if you've not had that, I challenge that you're not looking hard enough and that you're not in tune with your own body enough to be able to recognize these type of things. 1111, of course it is. Beautiful. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you. So if you have these things on, you're like, I don't notice anything. Are you eating and drinking and exercising and everything enough that you actually can tell what's going on with your body? Because if you're not, then you're not using the same type of constants and tests that us people that are experiencing them are. So it's not that only certain people can do it. It's not that it's pseudoscience. It's not that it's in your head. It's just that you have to be in a very specific space with your person. You have to really know your body. You have to know your emotional state of mind. You have to know your mental state of mind. You have to know all of these things in order to be able to recognize a shift in them, right? You would never know, right? There's there's a old kung fu movie where the guy's so overweight that when they go to punch him, he can't feel it because all the fat just absorbs it, right? So nothing at all happens. So there's times where people are running up behind him and hitting him and everything, and he just continues to because he cannot feel it. People from the outside can see this attack, they can see the impact, they can see it happening, and they're all freaked out, but the guy has no idea because he cannot feel it. So not being in tune with that part of his body, he's missing out on, like, I think 12 to 15 different people that just keep running up and attacking him, and nothing happens. So if you're trying to have these experiences, right, if you're really trying to meditate and get into a deep meditative state and you're not getting there, you're not failing, you don't have something wrong, it's not that it doesn't work for you, it's like everything else, it takes practice, guys. That's one of those big systematic things we have right now, that we have everything in 2 to 5 seconds, and we don't realize how important it is to get the things that take 2 to 5 months, 2 to 5 years, right? These type of things. If you're not really putting in that type of time, I'm sorry, we don't do the sugarcoating around here. You don't deserve to have those things. So the moment that you have any glimpse, a flash of anything that seems unreal, magical, any of those things, grasp onto it with everything that you have and chase it and go after it and see where it takes you. Because if you don't take those steps, you're never going to see where you go at all. So this is why it's so important that you go back to, as I was talking about earlier, beloved, right? When you go to these festivals and you're around these type of people, the vibration, the frequency is so high that these type of like events, instances happen over and over and over for like a 72-hour period. And once it's happened that many times, you now know it's possible and you'll chase after it even more, right? So earlier I was talking about if you're not carrying your crystals, right? Where I was going with that is if you're not doing sage around your house, like burning sage, guys, this is a thing. If you're out there and you don't think that these things really work, try every single thing that you ever hear me talk about on a show for 1 week. And at the end of a week, stop doing it. And if you don't see that there's some type of difference, and I said the same thing with Mistech and the bands, try it. Have the experience. You will definitely see the change. Matt, how you doing, man? Welcome. So at this Beloved Festival, this was what was very intriguing to me. You're walking over a huge acreage, right? Huge field. There's forest. It's beautiful, very off the grid. And every single person that walks by you, right, is right here, guys. They're right in your face. Everyone has very intense eye contact. Everyone has a genuine smile, right? And you can tell because their entire body smiles when it happens. But what was interesting is I'd say 30 to 45 minutes at most, a random person would just, hey, thank you, Matt. Greetings, man. Greetings. Have a surprise for you I'm going to talk about in a minute, so please don't go anywhere. Like, give me another 5 minutes. You'll be excited. It's going to be good. But every 30 to 45 minutes, what would happen is some random person would just walk over and go like in a line, person in person, and say, hey, would I be able to sage you real quick? Could I smudge you? Could I just bless you with something? Like, every single person was there to give, right? You go to receive the experience, but when you go with the giving heart, like the things that you receive back, because it's a selfless act. And when you do these type of things, that's when you're happy, right? You have no idea. If you guys do watch any celebrity type stuff, anything, like, look at Jim Carrey. There's not anyone out there that has all the money in the world that is both a genuinely good person and happy. They might be really, really wealthy and have one of those, but they don't have both. But what is interesting is the people that do have both will tell you that wealth and money have absolutely nothing to do with any of it. They'll also tell you that possessions have nothing to do with any of it. What makes you feel good as a human being? And if you don't know this, please spend a week doing it and just, again, test my theories. What happens is, the more you give to other people, the more happy that you will be, right? That it's a weird thing, but you have to give in order to receive this type of abundance and this type of happiness. And I honestly don't remember if it was on Alchemy 101 or if it was on Jeff Dowdery's show, but it's still a good reminder. Guys, in physics, there's no such thing as cold. Cold's not a real thing. There's not anything that is inherently cold. What it is a lack of heat. Right? So the more heat that's missing, the more cold that there is, right? Well, again, we're energetic beings, so this works the same way on us. So when you come across anger, hate, despair, any of those things, none of those things are really real. All that those things are a lack of love. That's it. So if you go out and you genuinely try to give this to every single person, even if they don't take it, your intent and your effort is right there, right? And with that effort, that is how you change the world. Like, you guys have no idea what one smile can do for a person. You don't know what one hug can do for a person. So when I say go to these festivals, every person wants to give you a hug. Every person is smiling. Every person is very, very, very excited. So if you've been to a Mistech event, hey, Brian, how you doing? Welcome. So Brian, perfect. He came in, man. And this is what I mean, guys. When I say synchronicity and divine timing, the times that this happens in my life is insane. So actually, I was just about to mention him, and he joined the chat room on Facebook. So Brian, he can testify and tell you, I was just out in Tampa doing a show with Jeff Daugherty. So Radioland, I'll explain it, but if you're in the room right now, I'm going to show something to you guys. So I have this little wooden flower of life carving, okay? And anyone that is consciously aware, woke, into metaphysics, anything like that, recognizes this symbol as another person that's conscious and is trying to make a positive, loving change in this world. Okay, so I take this with me every single event that I have, and I'm sitting in my hotel room in San Francisco right now. It's the first thing I unpacked out of my bag, because I put this up because I'm trying to attract more of my tribe. Guys, we're out there, but we have to be able to find each other. And that means we have to be able to talk. We have to communicate. We have to be open about who we are, right? There's so many people. Oh, so we say, Matt, sorry. There's so many people out there that are trying to do this conscious, aware, and woke thing and everything behind the scenes. And I did it for years. So I'm not trying to judge or anything. It's one of the things we do. It's very, very, oh, well, that's okay. I'll get with you guys in 1 second. Let me finish so I don't lose the train. The train goes where it wants. But I did it for years. I was in I don't want to talk about this. They're going to think I'm crazy. And come to find out, people mostly already thought I was crazy anyway, so it didn't really change a whole lot. But this is the thing. If you, in your own household, just meditating, just that, guys, just meditate. You don't even have to get into the woo-woo stuff and, try to astral project and levitate. You don't have to even do it. Just start with the meditation all on its own. Being that it's 2018 and most of you are listening to me on some type of computer type device, I would imagine the people that are listening right now have at some point went in and defragged their home computer. Okay, so when you do that, it takes some time, right? And it's a boring process. little blocks kind of move along. But once it's done and says congratulations, it's defragged, the computer starts moving at light speeds like it was supposed to, like how it was when you first turned it on and you remembered, if you even remember when you first had it. Okay, so when you meditate, it does a defrag on your brain. So until you get to the advanced stuff, you sit there and you don't watch any blocks, you don't watch anything, and it takes just as long, and it's still boring. And you kind of twiddle your thumbs and you're not sure if you're doing it right, and you're not sure, and all those little things that you're doing, that's the opposite of meditating, right? These questions and things, and it's natural, it's going to come up while you're practicing. But if you can't do it and you can't figure it out, guys, just do a 5-minute meditation on YouTube. Pick anything you want, it doesn't even matter what it is. 5 minutes a day, that's it, right? Old Zen proverb said that you're supposed to meditate for a minimum, guys, of 5 minutes a day. And if you don't have the time, then you need to meditate for an hour. I'll let you, get your head wrapped around that concept and part out, but it's that important, right? In just 5 minutes. But if you can do that, when your brain becomes defragged, like your computer does, because we are a living biological computer at the end of the day, your brain is moving at lightning speeds in ways that you probably can't remember that it moved at that speed. And you just start with that and do it every single day and find other places, other people. I flew into the airport this morning. They had a yoga and meditation room in the airport. It's insane. They would never, ever have things like 5-10 years ago at all. And it's becoming more and more and more of a norm. So trust me, get ahead of the game on everybody else, because within the next say 5 years at most, right? And this is just a guess, but and I feel like I said this too. In 5 years at most, meditation is going to be just as common as owning a cell phone. So why wait, and why not get ahead of it right now and do it? It's going to be amazing for you. But again, you need people to be able to do these things, right? So as I've been talking today on Alchemy 101, every once in a while I say, hey, how you doing and everything. And a lot of people have been jumping in the chat room. And guys, this is these people that are talking to me, reaching out, like some of these people I've never even met in person ever. I've never met Matt Flores in person. I never have. And I don't think we've even really had a conversation outside of a handful of chats here when I'm doing the show, and maybe a couple things on a page that he's an admin of, and I'm gonna bring that up in a second. But he's a soul brother to me. This is family to me. For this guy, because the things that I do know about him, the things that I do see him putting a conscious effort into, are out of love and out of light and out of growth. And as human beings, I get confused when there's so many people that I talk with and all they want to do is argue and be resistant. I don't understand, what is the point of this, guys? Like, let's say that your ego is, and now you've alienated 10 people around you. How does that actually really help you? Like me and my wife, I love her to death. We're both sisters, so we bump heads every once in a while. But one of the things I tell her is, why don't we just default to the good, right? So if someone says something and you're not 100% sure, and don't get me wrong, and you for money, or they're not trying to get you to buy into something, why not just default to believing what they're saying, right? And I'm not even saying believing what they're saying in a detailed form, but just context, right? We have this thing about the English language that this word has to mean my interpretation of it. Like, if in a place of context, right, in a place of unity, in a place of growth and understanding and wanting to bond with each other, there'd be no reason to argue. There'd be no reason to say, no, that's not a thing. I don't believe that. No, that's not real. Like, listen to you, because guys, this is the thing. If you have friends or family or people in your life, and it is, Viv, I miss you. I miss our talks. And we'll get to that. But it is. So if you have people that are in your life, and when they tell you something, you go, no, that's not real, and you want to just argue with them, why have them in your life? Why make this person even a blip on your radar? How does this help you? Now, if they're asking a genuine question, and guys, you know the difference between an actual inquiry and just being an ass or being a troll, right? And we all deal with these things all the time, but I don't understand how it is that we can have people that we talk with, that we share our dreams with, our ideas with and everything, but it becomes an argument. It becomes a distraction. It becomes well, my ego doesn't like that. Like if we just lived in the idea of unity, then we can reach there and we can get there, right? Like, yes, our intent sets the rules. It really does. So when you, right, and this is one of the things, guys, like when I met Brian in Tampa, a lot of the things that we were talking, and maybe lots of strong word, but a few things, there was definitely different, versions of the topic and different perceptions. But I think we both recognize that our intent was the betterment of each other and everyone around us. So we just kept talking and talking and talking, and same thing. Like he's a great friend of mine now, and it's just one of those things, guys. Like your intent has to be the New Life Expo, right, in San Mateo. This is the second one that I've done. If you guys have ever been to, say, like Jason, oh my God, Jason the Wizard just joined the channel. I'm so excited. Man, this is one of the guys that really implemented. I'm so excited for you to be here, man. Thank you. Just amazing guy, amazing guy. Definitely. So this event, guys, if you've ever been to like a fair or a flea market, right? I need you guys to be able to understand this because I cannot stress how important it is that you get out to these events and meet your people, right? I'm not talking about your family. I'm not talking about your friends, not the people that you're forced to have to do whatever. I'm talking about your people, the people that you can just sit down with, and within a matter of 15 seconds of eye contact, yep, that's another one. That's the one, right? So these events, when you normally go to a flea market, a fair, right? You've got, kind of cubicle after cubicle after cubicle, or space after space after space of all these different products, or all these different resorts, or all these, just all these different sales. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's cheap, but you go to see what you can see. This event, guys, the exact same as what I'm doing right now, just in LA. I freaked out. Like, I don't even have really words to explain how impacting it was, and this is what had me so blown away. Instead of it being cubicle of cubicle of cubicle of people selling products and items, it was like legitimately energy healer after energy healer, after psychic, after medium, after, whatever type of healing that it was. And so you get into this place, and it was thousands of people that were waiting. Things. So this is the thing that I don't understand. If it's so not real, how do you have thousands traveling from all around the world to come see these people? So it's either that it's not real and it's all in their head, or it is real, but the powers that be are really, really good at kind of manipulating the narrative and keeping you away from being as powerful and free and healthy as it's supposed to be. Now, you can think on whatever version you want, and interpretation always is going to be your own. But I'm the type of person that if it sounds good and it feels good, I'm probably going to go with that. Like, that's just a safer, more loving way to live life. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, oh man, Scott, man, right on time. So they've even got, like, go to your Renaissance festivals, go to your fairy festivals, go to Coachella, guys. This is the thing. I love music. I love to dance. I like to party. I'm all for all those things. But if you were going to go to one of these big, like, rave type events, one of these other big type of just music festivals where it's partying and crazy music and a bunch of drugs for 3 to 4 days straight, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying that if you can find the money to go to these events, your soul, your being, your heart, your person, your being, your humanity will be 10 times more gracious and more thankful for you going to these other type of events instead, where it's going to be a very similar feel, but it's going for, for your birthday, you can party and go crazy, or you can go on a hike and get back out to nature and get. You can do whatever you want to do in this life. That's what's so amazing. I just feel so many people are miserable and angry and really sick because they're not living their light. They're not living the real version that they're here for. They're trying to make mom and dad happy, or they're trying to not upset the wife. And, it's okay. Wife aggro is a real thing. It's okay. But God, all the happy people that you come across are doing it because they're living their version of the life that they want. And so just do this. When you do a festival, right, Jason, let's see, Pretenders to Power. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you get to these festivals, all you have to do is find one random person. Find one. Absolutely amazing time selling music. We woke up every morning with like a line of people outside the tent. Amazing. It was incredible. But I believe it was the Saturday night that I was there. I met this girl, and it was incredible. Like within minutes, I felt like she was like an old sister, an old family member, and we had never met or talked. We ended up spending the entire night together just talking. Like there was this huge tree. That's how cool these festivals are. There was this huge tree that when I was there as a vendor, I got there a day early, so I got to see these guys setting up. And I saw probably a crew of about 10 to 12 people for 3 or 4 hours lining crystals up in a huge, huge circle all around this gigantic tree. I mean, this thing was probably 8 feet around in diameter. It's a huge tree, and they had a crystal grid like all the way around it, all like 5-6 feet out from the tree, with one little pathway that you could just walk right up to the tree and lean up against it, and it was and all these crystals all around you. And just sitting in that, you feel a very, very deep spiritual thing that happens. And then this girl that I'd met earlier comes walking, and come to find out, she was like, if she sees it, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, context, love you. What was happening is she was like a singing healer, right? And sang these like amazing songs. I have no idea what the words were at all. My whole being was just like so like devastatingly happy and joyous from these things I couldn't really interpret, but I could feel it. And I really knew it was really good. And we just talked all night. Like the next day, I called my wife. I'm like, babe, I met someone and I love her. Like I'm not in love with her, but I met this person, and overnight I know this for sure. Like this is my people. And then you meet more people, and you meet more people. You find one person at one of these festivals, and guys, this is the thing: we have no idea about each other's experiences, right? Right? This is the real thing. When you hear me or you hear me on the radio right now, all that you really know are the things that I tell you and the things that I explain and the things that you can try to interpret. But that's it. We don't really ever know anything about the other person. We meet their representative, and if we're lucky enough, a year or two, they might let that person dissolve so you can meet the real version, right? But when you go to these festivals, because one is already in the mindset of I'm just going to be me, fuck it, I don't care, that's what I'm going to do. Every person that you come across, you can sit and spend 2 weeks with just one of these people and learn things about yourself that you did not even realize you could possibly even fathom to learn. Finding out about things that make you happy, that make you upset, things that you want to. Because guys, at the end of the day, this is the key component that I wish we could get the world to wrap their mind around, right? And this is drives me crazy thinking about it. So we don't know what we don't know. We have no idea. So without that excitement and joyous attitude of going out and wanting to explore and wanting to experience and wanting to learn, like there's entire chapters of our lives that we'll never even get to read at all, just because we didn't create the opportunity when we had the chance. And so instead of living in regret and in depression and in fear and in worry, why do these things? Just go out, do exactly every single day, and you will be fine, I promise. If you guys are in the chat room right now, it's going to get a little weird. I'm trying to make sure I catch all the messages since I tend to lose them. Anna, thanks for joining us. How you guys doing? So Scott, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but he popped in, and when I'm talking about these festivals, same thing. He was a gentleman, and this is what I mean. This is some more of that weird synchronistic stuff. I met him at the Saturday market in Portland, right? And we got to talk, and he got to talking, and we're talking about some Mistech stuff. And him and his fiance at the time, amazing people, right? And right away, like, my family fell in love with them, right? And they this is what's weird, guys. This is what I mean when I say your vibe attracts your tribe. They were actually invited us to come to their wedding that they were going to be going to. Hi, Anna, how you doing? And they were going to do it at this place called Fairy World, right? And that, I think, was the first tap on the shoulder from the universe for me about going to one of these festivals and really going and meeting people. Like, they're actually out there. It's crazy. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to go, but I know that they got married. They had an amazing time. I saw a bunch of the pictures, and it was absolutely incredible. And it wasn't until maybe a year after that that I realized, like, man, I met part of my tribe that was trying to get me to go to a festival where I would have met more people, and I didn't realize that that's what I was supposed to do. So don't miss out on these opportunities at all. Like, don't eat or drink at Starbucks for 2 days a week for Enchanted Forest. Yeah, that was it. It wasn't. Yeah, Jason knows. But yeah, just don't go to Starbucks for 2 days a week for the rest of the year, and just save that money, and you can go to every festival, because it's that type of trade that we. If you think about from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed and how much money you spend every day and like budget it out, you'll literally take a second look at your life. 90% of it, I don't know how many times, but so go to these things. What I like about the one I'm doing here now in San Mateo, right, the Conscious Life, is or the New Living Expo, excuse me. They have panels also, guys, and these panels are being done by light workers that do it for a profession. So people that have been doing this for maybe it's only a year and they're just amazing at it. Some people are doing it for 10, 15, 20 years. And some of their stories, I'm not going to lie, I'm just like, I don't know. But it's okay. You still go with an open mind and look into it and have the experience, because one of those people, like I had that last one I went to, I still have his book. I take it with me everywhere I go. I can't stop reading it. And it was one of these experiences that I thought that all the metaphysical stuff I talk about and the things that I've done and seen were intense and unbelievable. And, 50 minutes listen to this guy, I'm seeing one of my guides for the first time in the physical form, freaking out like, what just happened right now? And if I didn't go to that experience wouldn't have happened. And now there's a whole new field of metaphysics that I've been looking into and wanting to research and having a really good time doing it, because what else are you going to do? You're going to watch, I'm all for sports. I love playing sports. My kid's in football, but I don't understand how you could spend, hours a week watching someone else's accomplishments every week for the rest of your life, when you can take that exact same amount of time to build your own person and yourself better, where you can build your child and educate them better, when you can spend time with your husband or wife to make that better. Like we got to the Joe Rogan, one of my favorite comedians, was like, we're going to go to Saturn. We'll go to Saturn and Mars and Jupiter, and we'll stay perfect like we are right now, and we won't evolve and we won't get better. And like, is that the real state that we're at? Like, I don't. No, I'll be nice. I'll be nice. Let me. Cavasier's the drink. Hold on. San Jose, Jason. Yes. Okay. So I don't understand how so many people that are in your life, and I say this, I'm speaking for you as I'm speaking for me, that know about these things but are not going after the growth, not going after the prize at the end of the day, right? That are not trying to find their tribe, right? Now, hey, miss you guys, Kenny, good friend of mine. Be the craziest person that anyone knows, right? Because watch, this is what happens, and this is really one of my goals, guys. I'll tell you one of my secrets, and we talked about this before. In the morning, you need to get up and first look for a festival. If you haven't been to one, do that. First thing you wake up, find a festival, find a night, go do this thing, right? But get up in the morning and set an intention, right? Have a purposeful intention of what you're going to do, right? So my intention, right? This is my actual mantra every morning, right? When I get out the shower is, what are we going to do today? We're going to impact at least one person so their day was so different that they have to talk about it when they get home. Just one person, just one. If we can do more than one, we'll do more than one. But one person's life is going to get changed today for the better, in some way, shape, or form because of me. We got a deal? Deal. And this is a conversation I have with myself in the mirror every single day. And when I go out, be overly excited, be overly entertaining. You can be overly excited. Whatever you can do to the fullest extent possible that's not impeding on other people's things, but so they're having a good time, do that. Because most people have the exact same routine from 9 to 5 every single day, and they miss out on the level of fun and love and life and magic that should be there in every second of every moment. It's just right there. All you got to do is just grab it and just hold on to it and then show it to somebody else. That's it. Just show it to them. And when you see their shock and awe, their freak out and their excitement, you will get that exact same feeling all over again. And then you both go do it. Like, guys, this is exactly what I've been doing with Mistec for years. That is the entire idea. We want to shock and awe people so they get excited and want to start living life again, right? Instead of doing this drone version of, oh, I got to do this, oh, I got to do that. Guys, don't do that. But the change is only going to come from excitement. It's going to come from, man, I want what he has, right? Like what they say when you go to church, right? You're going to be so excited about God that people are going to be like, I want what he has. That's a whole different thing. But we got to do this stuff, guys. And if you're on this path of ascension and growth, you are, it's really your responsibility to do this thing. And if you don't know that, I'm here to let you know your responsibility to do this thing. And while responsibilities aren't that fun for a lot of people, it's a liberating thing, guys. It's so liberating because you will feel so free and you will feel complete for the first time. Like really, really, really complete. And if you think that, if you're not there and, this whole conscious and awareness and metaphysics and alchemy sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo and everything, I agree with you. I do. I agree with you for you. And it's going to be very difficult for you to get out of that place with that mentality. People that aren't looking for magic will never see it. People looking for it will see it everywhere, right? I was talking with a really good friend of mine, Ginger Lily, right? Her and Matt Flores, the guy I mentioned earlier, they're admins of this amazing Facebook page, Human Life, right? And most everyone in there is really trying to go after growth, and the posts are amazing, and they're uplifting each other. And I was talking to her. Lots of things that we talked about, but we were talking about when I'm going out to Vegas soon, if I could surprise Matt. I know she already ruined it, but if I could surprise him, because he's out there, and to me, I'm like, oh my God, I'd love to see him. Like that's a brother of mine that I've not seen or met. So of course I need to go out there. So Matt, if you're still on the channel, surprise, May 8th, I'll be coming out to Vegas also for the Shakti Fest. Right, so if you guys cannot make it to this, the Life Expo, the new Life Expo here in San Mateo this weekend, let me give you guys the exact dates and times. I don't want you to miss out on it. Like this festival I'm talking about for the Shakti Fest, this is the same. So from what I understand, it's like a very similar version, just very much bigger. So May 10th through the 14th, okay? It's in Joshua Tree, California. And it's called the Shakti Fest, right? There's going to be, and I read this verbatim, the yoga and music experience of your lifetime. And when you get out there, first of all, you're going to come across lots of hippies, right? So be excited about that because all the hippies love you. This is the thing I haven't got either. Like, what is the bad thing about what we're trying to accomplish? Like, that's the thing I always wonder when people are like, oh, you guys are nuts for wanting to do this stuff. Like, what's the bad part of this? Like, we want to give you love and hugs and want you to have fresh air and water and food, and you have a problem with that. That's weird. I don't understand that problem. But you get out to this, you're going to come across a ton of hippies, right? So every person there is going to be dressed in amazing garments, right? It's literally like stepping into a whole nother dimension. Every person is there wearing their full version of themselves. whatever that might be, right? Whether you agree with it or not, that's what they're there for, right? So every person's like that. You get there, everyone's excited to talk to you. Everyone's excited to meet you. Everyone wants to know where you're coming from, what's your plan. And guys, the most important thing that we never ask each other, and this will happen at these festivals, is, well, so are you happy? Like, think about that. We don't even ask people that stuff anymore. We don't even ask people that. We go, what do you do for a living? Oh, are you married? Do you have any kids? But we don't ask if we're happy. We don't ask that question because, unfortunately, and anyone, feel free to correct me. If you're in the chat room, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't ask that question because we already know the answer. It's no. Most people are not. They're working on it. You know, I just got to get through this week, and then I'll be happy. I just got to get this promotion, and then I'll be happy. I got to see, if this girl's going to go out with me, then I'll be happy. Like, happy is this ever fleeting idea of a principle that unless you have children and you can really see it in their eyes before they've been, disgusted with how the world is, it's just not a thing that most people have anymore. And we don't even ask about it because we know, like, that's just not a thing. But here at these festivals, people will ask this. Extra jar of coconut. Oh, yes. But so that's the thing. So ask these questions. Like, if you sit down and with your family and you say, are you happy? Here's the cool thing about this, guys. If they say no, then you can go, why? And then when you find out, you can implement a solution. But if you don't ask that question, you're going to go through 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 20 years, maybe with the person that you're not even supposed to be with because neither one of you have the balls to talk about anything that's truthful. Everyone wants to do this little game where we pretend and hide and we don't want to talk about anything real. And then, after the kids are out of the house and everything, well, I've been miserable, so now I'm leaving. The kids aren't here. Why? Why not just have a conversation and just be happy and be real and be authentic? And this is why I urge you to go to these type of events, because once you taste authenticity, right? Like, guys, right now I am drinking, right? Babe, don't kill me. Don't yell at me. Thank you, all the Mistech supporters, for allowing me to buy. And I don't even drink like this, guys. I did because I'm on vacation. But thank you. I'm drinking like a $40 glass of Courvoisier right now, right? That's what I'm drinking. I don't ever do this. I never drink this. But I'm drinking this because I'm like, you know what? I want to have the real thing. I don't want to get some little cheap. Let me see what the expensive thing feels like. And that was years ago. And ever since I did that, once you taste the really good expensive version, or you taste that authenticity, or you taste that love from people, you don't want the fake ass version anymore. You'll never, ever, ever want it. You'll never want it. So I don't even like to drink. I don't, right? It was just 420. I had a big party in Portland. It was amazing. We had a good time. But since I'm out here, I'm like, well, I might as well get something to drink. I'm on vacation. And the guy goes, oh, you want the cheap stuff? I go, no. I've had the good stuff. Why would I want that? And that's why you need to go to these festivals and these expos so you can meet real people. I promise they're out there. And then once that happens, when you get back to the real world, our society we have right now, it feels really broken. And you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this is how it is. And because of that, it's going to push you to want to do more research and further your own growth because you want to have more of that feeling again that you got with your vibe, with your tribe. But so you can't do that until you fully experience it. So that's why I really urge you guys to go. Cheers. And yes, Matt, good, you're still in here. So May 8th, my whole family, it's gonna be our first festival my whole family's coming to. Yeah, I'm getting my, he'll be 11-month-old baby at one of these festivals. Guys, is that serious? I'm taking my baby to one of these things because he needs to go out there and be plugged into these real people. Like, it's that serious. So yeah, Matt, May 8th, me and my family are flying into Vegas. We're gonna be going through Kingman and Lake Havasu to see some family, pick some stuff up. But since we're out there seeing family, like we'll have to connect, and I'd love to come by and say hi, man. See the man behind the legend, the miracle worker. I like it. We gotta do that. But so guys, please, for the next week, okay, this is all I'm gonna ask you, okay? Maka, man, how you doing, man? The whole tribe actually showed up. All you guys need to take a screenshot of everyone in the chat room. And if you're out there listening on Artists First, I apologize that you guys can't be a part of it. I'm working on getting onto YouTube soon so we can have a bigger chat room and so on. But if you are on Facebook and you're in the chat room, please, guys, scroll through this list of what you're seeing right now. I'm working on getting a bottle of me, Brian. I got to get permission from the wife first. She's a little stingy at times, but as soon as she approves a bottle of Halo, I'll get one in every house. I'm working on it. But what I was saying though is go through this chat room right now and add these people as friends, right? Go into this human life, get into that group, get into these things and connect with these people. Guys like Maka. Maka is one of the most untapped resources that I know I have at my disposal, just because I haven't felt that I've had the time to really invest what I need to be able to really get from him. But that's one person that I know if I spent a year with him every single day, every single day with him for a year, that my life would feel like I'd been with him for 10 years because of the amounts of things that I could learn from this individual. So Maka, thank you for joining me, man. Really, really good to see you. But guys, go through this list, add these people. Go to the Shakti Fest if you can. It's in Joshua Tree, May 10th through the 14th, right? After that, there's going to be the Bhakti Fest. There's going to be Beloved. There's Lightning in a Bottle. There's Firefly. There's so many of these things. And my brother's in here. My man. How you doing, brother? And guys, I'm telling you, you got to go to these things. If you don't feel comfortable reaching out, or if you are out in radio land, go to mistech.net is my website. You can contact me via there. You can email me at halo@mistech.net. But follow up me, guys. Like if anyone, and I'll be honest, I'm not great at following up as quickly as I can all the time, but any questions about any of this stuff, guys, there's so many things that are out there, so many different tools, so many videos. Like if you have Netflix and Hulu and you don't have Gaia, you're messing up in your life right now. Get Gaia. This is the thing where you can go, and there's so many tools and resources that are there. Mark, I'm gonna see you next week, man. I gotta come see you. Respect, brother, all day, absolutely. But guys, the tools that are out there, to not be further along than we are as humanity is a really, really bad thing. And so with the millions of people out there that are still on this current trajectory, right? The handful of us that are out there, we have to really step our game up to be that counterbalance. If we don't do that, then the world's going to be way worse than it is now, and our children's children aren't even going to be here to even see that. Like this is real things, guys. This is not just conspiracy theory, be scared. Like I don't even believe in fear. Fear is a fake, imaginary, non-real thing. But there are real like dangers, and there are real implications, and there are real impact on decisions that we make and things that we don't make. So if you don't know what to do, I'm telling you, get to these festivals, get to these expos, get plugged into social media groups, right? If you're not learning something new on your social media every day that's benefiting you, you're following the wrong people. You're paying attention to the wrong things. Get away from that stuff, right? Spend the next week, open the door. Look, if you can see me, if you can hear me, listen, write this part down. Open the door for every person you come across in every building you go into for the next week. And then you say thank you while you open the door, and watch how your entire being, your attitude, your smile, everything will completely change, guys. Like it's oh man, it's incredible. So guys, it's getting time to wrap up. Ken, thank you, brother. If you guys are able to, still, guys, I'm not trying to say like just do yoga and just diet and don't have a regular life too. Like you can do the best of both. So I'm gonna go see if you're out there. I hope you enjoy the Avengers movie tonight. I'm gonna go watch it. If I see anyone post anything on my social media about anything about it, I got people all over the place. I'll have them find you and do terrible voodoo to you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Have a good time. Guys, stop living the American dream. You got to be asleep for that. Live your vision. Live your light. Be excited about everything. Man, like guys, do you realize that tomorrow you get to wake up and it's a whole brand new day that you can just pick out whatever you want? Like, that's right. False experiences appearing real. Fear. Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. But guys, tomorrow, like go out, and this is really, it's just a decision that you have to make. Tomorrow, like tonight, you got to write down a battle plan. I don't care. Make tomorrow the best day of your life, right? Whatever that means to you, right? Because we all have different value systems. We all have different things that are important to us, but really think about like, man, what would really make me happy? What would make me happy? And like really overly happy to where like if you were, if you hadn't seen your mom, you're coming home, you had to tell your mom, this is what happened today. What is that for you? Do that tomorrow. Wake up tomorrow and be the version of who you want to be, right? Most people that are at this level of happiness and motivation and everything created like a whole new version of who they wanted to be and embraced it. And so that's all you have to do. It sounds way more complicated than it is. So just live your light, be excited, be happy. To quote Mr. Leon Phelps, I'm looking at a half empty glass of Cavassier. So that means our time is about up. Thank you guys for joining me. Halo Marquise, Alchemy 101. Please check out mistech.net, guys. I'm telling you, we've got some amazing new stuff that's coming out. We're going to do a whole bunch of new drawings in June. We're giving out a bunch of free stuff. Thank you guys so much for spending an hour with me. And I really hope to see you at some of these festivals and expos. Don't even go to buy stuff. Go just to have the experience. Oh, man. Mahalo, Jason, my dude. I miss you, man. Guys, I'm going to be online for a little bit longer. So if you have any questions or any other places you want to find out about looking into for meditation, metaphysical growth, astral projection. Guys, you ask me anything you want to ask, and I'm not saying I have the answer, but I at least have a direction to put you in if it's something I don't know. But I love you guys. This is Alchemist. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, Halo.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna set up the show. I'm gonna host it, and it's gonna be you and the Michael and Margaret Lyons. So
Me and who?
give me a 1 week. Michael and Margaret Lyons, they have a program called The Soul